Hello and welcome to Champion Reviews. I'm Joe. Here with me is my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
We just got finished the second part of the Hobgoblins story, and it was good.
Yeah.
Way better than the other stuff we've reviewed in the past. Ironically, we're not talking about the Spider-Man cartoon there. It's been consistently good. Actually, when it comes to our reviews, it's watching this is the high point of the day sometimes, given other stuff we're reviewing. Hobgoblin, of course, has the initial advantage on Spider-Man, whom only for Hobgoblin to try to cozy up to Kingpin, only to notice a chair, likes it, sits in it. Kingpin reveals he knows Hobby's planning to betray him. Hobgoblin then betrays him, chases him out of his fort, thinking he killed him. Then betrays Norman, because, why not? It's what he's good at. He's got chronic backstabbing disorder. He sees a back, he has to stab it. But then Norman gets the idea, once Kingpin visits him and says, we gotta get rid of that guy. And this is your fault. Well, actually, Kingpin technically says, we can leave the recriminations to later. Right now, we must deal with that masked fool. Which, indeed, they do. By using Spider-Man as a weapon, and Spider-Man sneaks in through an access tunnel that goes under parts of the city and into the fortress.
Mm-hmm.
And then fights off Hobgoblin. Kingpin reclaims his lair, blows up the building Spider-Man uses the access tunnel to get to. And then Spidey ends up, talking to Norman, which is a very interesting scene because Norman Osborn's never sympathetic in any depiction.
Yeah,
But here, there's a scene where he's actually really sympathetic in this series. And he actually says, he's got his dirty side, but at the same time, he says, he tells Spider-Man, do you know what it's like missing his birthdays or his baseball games? And it's like, yes, I'm guilty of that. But none of that means that I didn't care. It was just a matter of, I guess, making the wrong choices. Mm-hmm. And then when Hobgoblin shows up to try and kill Harry, Norman, and Spider-Man, Norman goes to jump over Harry and cover him from descending debris. And Spider-Man then thinks to himself, maybe he's finally making the right choices now. Which, the sad thing is in the series, no. Norman maybe later making better choices for Harry. In particular, when at the the next day when that scene with Kingpin whispering to Norman about this whole Hobgoblin thing. In our old arrangement, let's just let it go because this has been a mess, and I'd rather just wash my hands of this entire affair. And Norman says, I'd like my son to step up and start working over at Oscorp. And the thing with this is, the thing we have to bear in mind is that Norman and Harry are not going to get better. Mm-hmm. Things only get worse for them.
Yeah, and that is a consistent event that happens in Spider-Man. No matter the universe, the Osborns,
they do it to themselves.
Yeah.
And what's more is that oftentimes things do go bad in the Spider-Man mythos. When we get to reviewing the Clone Saga, oh boy, are we going to be telling you just how bad things got. Because, things get way worse for everyone in universe during the Clone Saga, and before it gets way better, and that's Spider-Man because it's realistic. But yeah, and Spider-Man of course has a doctor who looks down on him, for having a job.
It's like this doctor's from the comic books, and I always found he was an asshole. Because he'd scowl at Peter whenever Peter wasn't around, and when Peter was around, he'd scowl at him.
It's like, more important than this, young people. But it's like, dude, as far as you know, he's out there doing his job to pay your paycheck. Like,
and
health insurance in the U.S. is not cheap.
And Aunt Anna consistently told Peter, yes, you're visiting. Yes, you're usually here. But you shouldn't just live your life here. Go on. You have more important matters.
You have to go work your job and go take care of my niece who's your girlfriend. Like,
just because your aunt's here, she'd want you to go be happy.
Like, so take care of your your immediate family and yourself. You got to take care of yourself, kiddo. I could hold the fort here. And in some ways, Aunt Anna's the real mommy in the comic books, and she's one of the real superheroes in it.
Mm-hmm.
When I say superhero, I mean like that parent whom is always pulling through and always there for... she's just awesome.
Mm-hmm. And it got to the point with comics, I wondered if the relationship that this doctor had with May, if it overstepped his oaths as a doctor.
No, I never wondered that. I always just thought he was just a jerk who was looking for any excuse to look down on everyone.
Okay.
And like playing at being a god.
Yeah, because he was overly fond of that May.
Yeah, but I think he was just written as being an ageist SOB.
Yeah.
He just hates young people.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I also read that... I also thought that he was maybe jealous of Peter's youth.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you also got to bear in mind, what is Peter probably married to? Well, as far as this guy knows. I mean, MJ, any guy would be envious. But, okay, I should rephrase that. Any guy who's single would be envious.
And I find it interesting that...
Because most married guys are probably happy.
That doctor actually showed up. Who is such a minor character.
Yeah, and he's such a jerk.
I mean...
But they got a good voice actor for him.
I much prefer Jameson's company over him.
Yeah, but that doctor's voice actor did a good job.
Oh, yeah.
And Aunt May's reason for escaping into herself is stupid. But anyways, yeah. At the end, Peter pretty much gets flirted with both by MJ, then Felicia, whatever. But anyways, the characterization in this episode is really solid. Peter is generally the focus alongside the Osborns. And I don't know what else to add. Oh, and MJ stays at the hospital for Peter because the animated series writers decided to make Aunt Anna hate Peter. I hate that. I prefer Aunt Anna from the comics where she loves Peter, but she's just like... she's the mom who's like, you need some tough love, son.
Because there's a lot of people that I've actually read on forums and whatnot that have commented that in the comics, Aunt Anna is a very sweet lady that
she's a superwoman
and all of that. But when it comes to the cartoon, she is a total rhymes with witch.
Yeah, and I don't like that change.
I agree.
They should have kept her sweet and gentle. And had her be Peter's real mom, in a way. Like, you know what I mean? His surrogate mother. And that way, if they ever got around to killing May, they'd still have her to fall back on. That was the role of Anna and May. But the thing is, Anna eventually overtook May as the main maternal figure in the comics.
Yeah. Because no one liked May.
Because May kept almost keeling over at the drop of a hat. And they kept reviving her, which just got... so darn annoying. Anyways, let's just rate this thing. I really like this episode, but I'd give it maybe a 2.
Same.
There are better episodes out there, but it's a really solid episode.
Mm-hmm. And it's everything that you expect of a Spider-Man cartoon episode.
Yeah, the next episode won't be as much fun to review. Day of the Chameleon.
Oh, yes. I mean...
Sorry, but the Chameleon stuff isn't always as much fun.
He'd work better with other heroes. I mean, he's really out of his,
Element fighting Spider-Man.
yeah.
Anyways, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and also hit that notification bell.